Wonderful. David S. Goyer, as I live and breathe, there you are. We've talked a few times in the past, and I've
Yeah.
always wanted to ask you, why do you gravitate towards science fiction and this type of genre?
I read a lot of it when I was a kid. I like the escapism and I like the world building. I mean, for me, that's just a really fun challenge. I like trying to imagine other cultures and other worlds and other creatures. It's just where my mind goes. And I like the way that good science fiction can function as an allegory. I don't like to be too preachy or to get up on a soapbox with what I'm working on. I feel it's important to entertain people first. But if you use science fiction, properly use it as an allegory, you can still kind of talk about the things that are agitating people today, but in a way that doesn't feel right so much in their face.
Yeah, Rod Serling one time said you can talk about anything as long as it's a Martian.
That's true. And Rod Serling is definitely one of my heroes.
He certainly was one of mine and one of my mentors. I knew Rod and before he passed in '75, and what an amazing talent he was. And I put you in that category of world.
Whoa, those are some big shoes to fill.
Well, yes, but you do it so well. And a foundation. I mean, you're taking something that Asimov wrote and as a short story basically, and have turned it into just an incredible world.
Well, thank you. I mean, that's the magic trick, right? The first book is really a loosely connected series of short stories with very few characters continuing from one story to another. Asimov wasn't particularly interested in action. These massive events happen completely off screen or in between the lines, and a lot of his initial characters function as mouthpieces for ideas rather than you don't know much about their interior lives. So we had to fill in a lot of those gaps and figure out a way to take something that was largely anthological and very cerebral
Mm.
and turn it into something that was appointment viewing. And it's no easy task.
Yeah, but you left the intelligence in this. I mean, this is a very smart series, and your cast is absolutely spot on.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I hope people regard it as still intelligent. Yes.
Do you enjoy writing over directing, or is it all part of the same muscle?
It, they're different muscles, and I'll tell you, I'll, what I appreciate about working in the show is I get to go through different phases of it, right? So I'll be writing for a while, and then I'll just get completely sick of writing. And then I enjoy directing, and I like being on the set, and I like being on the locations, and I like actually making the thing. And after X amount of months, I get completely sick of that. And then I get to go to the editing room or the sound stage, and then I get sick of that. And so I like that my job keeps morphing and changing, and I get to exercise a lot of different muscles.
I wanted to just bring up briefly Dark City because that's one of my favorite films, and yet it didn't get the love I think it needed. And I was praying for some kind of sequel to it. Will there ever be?
Probably not. I mean, I love Dark City, and over the years, it's got a really ardent fan base. It's funny. I had an interesting experience when that film came out because it came out the same year as Blade, right?
Mhm.
So Dark City was a movie that was almost universally hailed by critics and just was destroyed at the box office. And initially, Blade did gangbusters at the box office, but critics reviled it. And I had both of those experiences, within a couple months of each other. And so it's rare that you get both. Sometimes that happens, but I'm glad I meet people like yourself that appreciate Dark City, and it makes me glad.
Yeah, Rufus Sewell is just an international treasure as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed.
But our time is all up, David, and it's such a great pleasure to catch up with you. And hopefully I'll talk with you on the next season.
Thank you so much.